Good morning. It is March 27th, 2020, here in Big Bear Lake, California. We had about 2 or 3 inches of snow last night, and I thought I'd take a little walk and bring you along with me. Morning. I'm also planning on doing a little rambling talking, so just to let you know, who knows what I might say. Anyway, it's actually a pretty beautiful morning here. Snowed last night. It's supposed to clear out. We're supposed to get a little cloudy weather in a couple of days, but probably not very much more snow. And I thought this would be a nice time to take a walk and think about a few things. It's been about 2 weeks since we went on the shelter-in-place order, and I decided it was time to get out. I've been out a couple times, but I decided I wanted to get out and walk around a little bit. All of what's happening right now is making me think about a few things. One of them is patience, waiting. This morning, Bishop Charleston's meditation was talking about him being in Alaska and being stuck in a small cabin, waiting for storms to leave so that he could travel on to the next place. This is Mitchell Lane. A little bit of snow, not bad. Looks like at least one car has been up here. All the animals are starting to come out. You can see tracks in the snow. A lot of squirrels. But he was talking about patience. Being stuck in the snow and waiting. Interesting. How did these tracks do this? How'd they get over that post? Aha. The post moves. Somebody moved it aside and drove up. Well, that's not the way I'm going. I'm going up the trail. The animal tracks, including what looks like a coyote track here, or a couple of coyote tracks, go up the trail, but no footprints yet today. So waiting. He learned to wait while sitting in a little cabin in the snow. I can kind of identify with that today. But there's other things, of course, that are making me think about waiting. One is this virus that's going around. We're all waiting to see just how bad it's going to hit our community and what the effects will be to our economy and to the health of the people we love. Waiting. Right now, I'm also waiting for my grandson to be born. My daughter Rachel is in the hospital in Maine, a mere 3,000 miles away, in early stages of labor, waiting for Michael to be born. Another difficult thing about waiting. So, I'm not real good at waiting. I feel like I need to do something. Somehow, I'm a fixer. I need to fix it. I need to go online and tell them what to do. I need to get to Maine and be with my daughter as she's going through the birth of her first child. Waiting without being active in the solution is kind of tough for me. So I have a tendency to, I've been sitting around watching Netflix and Amazon Prime and IMDb, Internet Movie Database, movies and shows. So I've been watching things that let me think about solutions and ways to get things done. I've been watching murder mysteries and detective things. I've been watching Vera and Shetland and Wallander and Midsummer Murders. And it's really fun to watch the old Columbo series. I can think about the solutions to these crimes on TV, and it keeps me occupied. I could wait by cleaning the house or organizing the garage, but somehow that hasn't happened. Boy, it's beautiful in here. I don't know if you can see the sparkle of the snow in the sun. I'm also reminded of a program that I saw a couple of months ago. It was a video on a philosopher who was a philosopher by trade. I'm not sure exactly what he did to be paid for it, but he was. And he was in poor health and 96 years old, and it followed him through the day of getting up, eating and spending his day, and then going to bed later. And in his philosophy, he did not include any kind of higher power. And he sat there waiting and thinking that, what's the purpose of all this? Why am I here? Why should I have done anything? My life is meaningless. And I can see that if you have no belief that there's something beyond who you are, it all can seem meaningless. But I believe there is something beyond who I am. I know it's something I can't fully understand, but it's something there. I choose to call God. We derive our meanings from what we believe God has given us in our life and circumstances. Is it real? I think so. What else am I learning now? I'm learning that as much as we might divide ourselves from each other with walls and tribal alliances, if you will, to Republicans, Democrats, Hindus, Muslims, Christians, skinheads, whatever tribe we are identifying ourselves with, my view is that even though these divisions may not go away, this is a time when we have to realize that we are all in this little world together. And that if we don't figure out how to deal with each other, we got big problems. I keep thinking of the blue marble picture. The picture taken by the astronauts as they came around from the backside of the moon and viewed Earth in the distance, sitting out there in the blackness of space. All of us, all of humanity, all of who we are is on that little blue marble that looks so big when you're standing on it and so small when you move away from it. Yeah, we need to realize this is where we are. We're well past the time when we can build a wall against the people that we consider not us, or move to the other side of the mountain and feel like they have no influence on us. We are all tied together on this earth. How do we do it? I don't know. It's also a time when through the connection electronically, we can listen to many people around us. It kind of used to be that people with off-the-wall ideas or hate for another group would end up being isolated and not spread very far, but these days the odd ideas find roots with people, and people buy into a lot of odd things and buy into the authority of whatever group it is to tell them the truth about the world. Back in the 60s, there was a saying that kind of went around at the time that said, "Question authority." And I thought of it in one way. I thought of it as people saying, "Oh, we shouldn't listen to what the authorities, the government is saying right now. They're lying to us," and that may be true. But these days, I take a broader reading of that. I think question authority. When somebody tells me a fact, quote unquote, or an opinion, or whatever it is that whatever bit of information they're trying to get to me, I try and think about by what authority are they giving me that information? What gives them the knowledge and the right to dispense that information? And are they truly an authority on what they're talking about? I can't help but think about some of our leaders who have told us, this is not a big deal. We need to forget about this virus that's going around. It'll go away, not a big deal. Do they have knowledge? Do they have true authority? Authority is granted by many things, granted by our government, granted by the church, granted by the school system, but does that authority really mean that the person has true authority of true knowledge? Really hard to sort out sometimes. I have found some people that I feel have authority in what they're talking about, and I listen to them on different subjects. I have little authority except for the authority of my experience. I can tell you that those clouds drifting by above me are condensed water up in the atmosphere, and when there is enough, it snows or rains. How do I know that? Not by my authority. I've accepted the science that I see and the evidence that's been given to me to know that that's how clouds work. So, authority. When you hear something on the internet, who is the authority giving you that? Are they really trustworthy? I use mostly Google, and I look for other opinions on things that I hear on the internet, because heaven knows I have no experience in being in most of the world where a lot of things are happening. I have to accept the authority of who's on the internet. It's tricky. I've discovered that the authorities that I listen to, I hope, are echoed by other authorities that seem to have actual knowledge about what's going on. I accept the authorities of people I trust in science above the people in politics when they're talking about scientific things. I have to. That's my trust in authority. So who are we still connected with as we are solitary in our house or in our walk. We're actually lucky now. We have the internet where we can email friends and find out some of the latest news in what's happening around the world. In the past, someone may have gotten a message through the grapevine that something was happening somewhere, but it was hard to check on. Now we have a tighter community. Our church community is helping each other, emailing each other. Our priest, Father Stewart, has created a prayer service from last Sunday where he walks through the woods and talks about things that bring us together. Interesting walking along here. I've gotten to the road that goes up the mountain. There are several cars here of people who are taking walks like I am. In fact, I see somebody through the bushes there with their dog. Also, walking along here, I came upon this, which at first I go, wait, what's that? And then it dawns on me, I'm right next to the highway. Somebody had a tent pitched here, spent the night here while it snowed. And there are footprints around here from the people who spent the night here. Was it somebody who drove up here to spend the night? Perhaps it was someone who is still hiking the Pacific Crest Trail, which is only a couple miles from here, spending the night here. Don't know. People are still out. People are still living their lives. And indeed, we all are still living our lives. Things happen. We have friends. We talk to friends. Babies get born. People die. All of the things in life are here. Loving the effects of the clouds and the sun. So I think I'm going to end this video here. I don't want to make it too awfully long. Perhaps I will do some other videos as I continue isolating. I did go to the store yesterday, bought some groceries for me and for a friend. And kind of weird being at the grocery store. I saw people walking around, everyday clothes, doing their shopping. The store was short on things, of course, no toilet paper yet. Good thing I have a few rolls left. But it was weird to see the people in the grocery store. It seemed unreal. There were people bundled up in jackets that I think they figured protected them. They had on masks or bandanas and hats to keep themselves bundled against things. There was one guy in there that looked like he was in a hazmat suit. It was this big yellow suit, maybe a rain suit, I don't know. Big yellow suit. He had big rain boots on and his face entirely covered. Weird. That's not a normal sight in Stater Brothers. So we're living in different times. And this could be hard on us, and it is. But it also can give us a time to pause, a time to think, a time to meditate, a time to reassess what's important in our lives. And hopefully we'll come out of this better than we went in. It does seem like humanity learns best under difficult situations. If it's too easy for us, we fall into all kinds of weird things. So what have you learned? Think about it.